Nolan Wells, the audio that could change everything. On July 4th, 2026, 18-year-old Nolan Wells traveled with friends to Horn Island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast for what was supposed to be a holiday celebration. Before the weekend ended, he had disappeared. 2 days later, search crews discovered his body, launching one of the most closely watched death investigations in recent years. As investigators worked to reconstruct Nolan's final hours, one piece of evidence unexpectedly became the center of public attention. Not a surveillance video, not a confession, but a recording from a call placed to a private marine towing company known as Sea-Tow. The recording was made at approximately 4 p.m. on July 4th after the group experienced mechanical problems with their boat. Initially, it appeared to be a routine request for assistance. However, after the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources released the audio through public records request, thousands of people began listening to it repeatedly, believing they could hear voices and statements in the background related to Nolan's disappearance. https://www.fox34.com. Within hours of the recording becoming public, social media exploded. Amateur investigators slowed the audio, isolated background sounds, increased volume levels, and posted their own interpretations online. Every upload seemed to produce a different conclusion. Some listeners claimed they heard Nolan's name. Others believed someone said, "Oh my God." Still others insisted they heard statements suggesting panic or even references to someone being dead. None of these interpretations were officially confirmed by investigators. People.com. The uncertainty surrounding the recording created a perfect environment for speculation. Human brains naturally try to identify familiar words from unclear sounds, especially when listeners already expect to hear something significant. This psychological phenomenon has made the audio one of the most debated pieces of evidence in the investigation. People.com. The controversy intensified when independent audio engineer Janetta Brantley released what she described as an enhanced version of the recording. Using professional software, she attempted to reduce background noise and improve speech clarity. Her version spread rapidly across TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms, receiving millions of views within days. The Griot. Supporters believed the enhanced recording made previously hidden conversations understandable. Critics argued that enhancement software can unintentionally introduce artifacts or alter ambiguous sounds, making listeners believe they hear words that were never actually present. Because of this disagreement, experts urged caution before treating any unofficial enhancement as evidence. People.com. Professional forensic audio analyst Jennifer Owen publicly addressed the controversy. She explained that authentic forensic enhancement differs significantly from internet editing. According to Owen, investigators ideally work from original uncompressed recordings rather than copies released publicly. Every conversion, upload, compression, or edit can change an audio file in subtle ways. She emphasized that determining what is genuinely present on a recording requires strict forensic procedures and specialized equipment. People.com. Owen also warned about confirmation bias. If listeners are told beforehand what they are supposed to hear, many will genuinely hear those words whether or not they exist. This is one reason forensic experts of Nolan Wells' case suggested the role of witnesses before conducting independent analysis. In any major investigation, witnesses, despite these warnings, one of the most public interest continue to grow. Numerous podcasts, they are the people who can provide investigators and independent investigators describe what happened before and after. Some argued it represented a breakthrough in the investigation. Others believed it was being misinterpreted entirely. iHeart. Nolan's family has continued searching for answers. Their legal team announced that experts would independently evaluate the Sea-Tow recording alongside other available evidence. They have maintained that every possible lead deserves careful examination before reaching any final conclusions. Thank you. Can you please hit the like button? Meanwhile, and subscribe to this channel. Publicly stated Nolan that the recording documents foul play or identifies anyone responsible for high-profile investigation. At the time of reporting, the official 18-year-old Nolan Wells shocked his all available evidence while awaiting additional forensic closely watched preliminary public information has not established a definitive cause as a holiday weekend boating trip to Horn Island. As national attention increased, the investigation took widespread social media speculation. Authorities announced arrests involving individuals accused of threatening witnesses, Nolan's friends, family members, and even a judge connected to someone involved in the investigation. Witness statement. These threats highlighted how emotionally charged witness statements are among the first demonstrated the real-world consequences of widespread. They help establish timelines, identify potential suspects or witnesses. One of the most important lessons from the CTO recording is the difference between public speculation and courtroom evidence. Statements are not automatic. Investigators cannot rely solely upon what internet users believe they hear. Instead, they must establish authenticity, maintain forensic evidence, verify the original recording, and conduct repeatable forensic analysis, and determine whether any identifiable statements can be supported scientifically. Who had been forensic audio examination often includes among those publicly discussed frequency isolation, waveform comparison, noise reduction. His attorney synchronization stated original voluntarily and cooperated with the investigators, answered questions even without hesitation. Experts provided access to his certain words remain unintelligible rather than identify potential witnesses. This also firmly denied allegations because criminal investigations that he played require evidence that can withstand legal scrutiny. As public attention intensified, the Nolan Wells investigation on social media attempted to analyze every recording. Emergency call one of the most discussed aspects of the case. Some interpreted it represents only one piece of a much larger investigative puzzle that includes in recollection, witness statements, forensic examinations, or chaotic digital evidence. Importantly, search efforts no public and medical has concluded whether the recording ultimately provides or that any statement he gave meaningful new information remains unknown. One of the biggest mistakes it may eventually answer critical questions, or it may simply illustrate that how easily ambiguous evidence can divide public opinion. What is already clear is that the recording has become symbolic. People may remember events differently every second of background audio has been analyzed by professionals and amateurs, or whether alcohol, families continue seeking confusion affected their investigators continue for that reason evidence. Investigators, experts continue urging patience alongside until official forensic conclusions rather than in isolation. Until those findings are released, the CTO recording should be viewed carefully. Information spread. It has generated important video clips, emergency recordings, circulating online excerpts, and rumors were shared millions of times. Distinguishing between some users claim certain names could be heard on recordings, and internet speculation will remain essential based as the investigation moves forward. Nolan Wells' case, the role of witness has said that this speculation resulted in serious investigation, including reported death threats one of the most important and planned legal action against people making they are the people who can provide the Wells family's attorney time likewise emphasize describe what happened investigation after accident.
Bait, Tyndall says, means investigators have an added obstacle while hearing from witnesses.
Have continued
so we have
to
make sure that we have a good, solid investigation, and we also want to make sure that witnesses that we're going to, that we're getting their impressions of what happened, not just based on what they see or hear on social media. So rather than I think it has a real detrimental effect
from an investigative standpoint. Statements are only one part of a much larger puzzle. Detectives often compare multiple
says that with the circulation of misinformation, he encourages people to correct their eyes to what's happening locally.
Or new information.
If you're trying to find
they
that
may
information,
re-interview
talk to people at Horn Island
after additional evidence. Explain relationships between that process is normal and help authorities understand dishonesty that may not have been captured through physical cases involving groups of friends. In the case of Nolan Wells, difficult. Witness accounts memories a major overlap as investigators attempt individuals may remember conversations surrounding his disappearance or focus on different details. However, investigators' testimony and use corroborating evidence to determine larger details are supported by and every statement must be carefully examined. The Nolan Wells investigation also highlights the digital records of balancing public interest and other fairness to investigators who have not been charged with any crime. The investigation while many people seek answers significant public accusations based solely on speculation surrounding his can have lasting consequences as investigators began looking into the events leading up to his death. They spoke with individuals officials have not publicly accused during the trip, Edmiston and others who may have had information about Nolan's ultimately interaction. The purpose of any investigation is to discover the truth became a critical part, not through rumors or timeline. And understanding statements remain important because they help establish timelines in cases like this. Often face additional public attention because they must always be evaluated in context in the age of social media against interviews, facts, rumors, and the Nolan Wells case continues to spread rapidly attention, causing certain individuals to become the focus of public discussion. As investigators have completed their work to distinguish between law enforcement information, however, witness must follow a process that relies on evidence. That distinction protects both the integrity of a person being interviewed and does not automatically mean they are allowing the evidence and the person being mentioned publicly to determine what does not mean investigators
Bait, Tyndall says, means investigators have an added obstacle while hearing from witnesses.
So we have to make sure that we have a good, solid investigation, and we also want to make sure that witnesses that we're going to, that we're getting their impressions of what happened, not just based on what they see or hear on social media. So I think it has a real detrimental effect when people start putting out misinformation on public venues and on the internet.
Stated that he
Tyndall says that with the circulation of misinformation, he encourages people to direct their eyes to what's happening locally.
If you're trying to find that information, talk to people that have a whole eye
has announced that Bart committed a crime between individuals, or that any statement authorities understand events that may not have been captured through physical evidence. That in the case of Nolan Wells, witness accounts investigators know a major role that people as investigators attempt to reconstruct the events may remember his disappearance and factors such as fear. However, confusion, witness testimony, distance from is only one lighting condition of a much larger investigation, and the passage of time. Every statement must be carefully examined remembers alongside forensic evidence. A difference between two accounts does not automatically prove other information that someone is being investigators can determine what happened. Investigators look for patterns into compare statements against evidence that can independently confirm or challenge what witnesses said. As investigators began looking into the events leading up to his death, they spoke with individuals who had been present during the trip and others who may have had information about Nolan's
10 minutes after that is when I got
interactions and final hours. These interviews became a critical part of establishing a timeline and understanding the environment surrounding the tragedy.
20 to 15 minutes.
Witnesses
I came
in
back,
cases like
Nolan's
this often face intense public attention because people want immediate answers. In the age of social media, interviews, rumors, and partial information can spread rapidly, causing certain individuals to become the focus of public discussion before investigators have completed their work.
Nolan, get it.
Law enforcement officials, however,
she also mentioned
must
that
follow a process that
the last
relies
time
on evidence
she saw Nolan
rather than
was
online
when
theories. A person being
my buddy
interviewed
was yelling at
does
him
not
to get on the
automatically
boat.
mean
But the last
they
time I
are a
saw
suspect. And a case involving multiple people does not mean investigators typically have built a timeline by comparing each person's account. They examined one individual who received significant attention was Bart Edmiston Jr. Certain events described publicly who communicated former with teammate and friend what actions happened before and after statements from his attorney. Were there photographs, videos, Bart cooperated with investigators or other provided documentation and denied any involvement parts of the testimony. His representatives help investigate that he voluntarily participated in the investigation. Witnesses online accusations against him have caused serious personal consequences, but becomes important later. No public authority has announced that Bart committed a crime. A location any statement he provided or observation. Understanding witness appears insignificant. Can become meaningful that memories when combined with other evidence. Investigators often collect large amounts of information stressful situations before determining which details are important factors such as explanation of events, confusion, the public discussion surrounding the Nolan Wells case. Also demonstrates the challenge and the passage of time investigating cases in how someone remembers what happened. Social media allows a difference between two accounts quickly does not automatically also creates the that someone is being dismissed information. Instead, investigators look for patterns and compare statements against evidence, analyzing interviews independently and confirm or challenge what witnesses sometimes bring forward helpful information. Speculation
this was
can
before the
also
Nolan was
unfairly
walking
affect people
towards
who
Wise's
have
boat.
not been accused
I was walking
or
in the
charged
opposite
with any
direction
crime.
towards my boat.
For families seeking
And
answers,
not even
witness
10
cooperation
minutes after that
can
is
be
when I got into
extremely
a fight.
important.
4 o'clock.
Investigators rely on people coming forward with information, even if they believe certain details may not matter. A small piece of information from one witness may help confirm another person's account or provide investigators with a new direction. That is why
like 3
law
o'clock.
enforcement
We left at
agencies
4:30.
often encourage anyone with
Nolan
relevant
was
information,
sitting by the boat
photographs,
with that
videos,
Katie girl,
or memories
and
of an event to contact
my buddy
investigators.
yelled